Wow, this thing shoots really hard! Hello, what is up guys, I'm your host Gordon and welcome to another one of my video. And today is going to be a very interesting video. And yes, today is another Gel Blaster video. And this is not any Gel Blaster. This over here is pretty much a knockoff Nerf Gelfire, just that it is smaller. Okay, this is what happens. I'm trying my very best to actually get my hands on an actual Nerf Gelfire, but I just found that it is actually really hard to get one. Like if I try to bring an actual Nerf Gelfire into Malaysia, it's gonna cost me a lot of money. I mean, a lot. Unlike other YouTubers out there, your body over here just ain't big enough to get free stuff from big brands like Nerf. And of course, I reach out to Mac Potato asking them perhaps maybe they can bring in something like from other country, like an actual Nerf Gelfire. In fact, in the middle of the search, they actually found me this. I wouldn't call this a replica because obviously the size of this thing over here is a lot smaller than an actual Gelfire. But this thing shoots kinda hard. Probably way harder than the original Gelfire. By the way, Mac Potato is a local Malaysian online foam dart blaster seller who sells rare imported foam dart blaster. And of course, without them, this video wouldn't even be possible. Review samples are pretty hard for a small YouTuber like us to get. If you guys are interested with rare imported blaster, all the necessary information will be provided in the description down below. In the box, we got the blaster itself, the gel container, battery and charger, a bag of gels, and safety goggle. To put on the container, slide in the adapter and twist it in place. The battery compartment is located at the back of the blaster. First, pull out the buttstock, pull off the cover, connect the battery, put the battery in, close the cover, load in the gels, twist it back, and turn it on. For today's Saturday shoutout, I will have to thank JJ Gonzel for always supporting the channel. Want a shoutout? Leave a comment down below and I will be picking a couple of you guys for a Saturday shoutout. But hey, instead of a Saturday shoutout, why not make it as a Q&A section at the back of the video? And perhaps maybe you can ask me a question on the comment section and I will answer the question at the end of the video. Okay, first look at the blaster. As you can see, the aesthetic of the blaster definitely looks like one of those Nerf Pro Gelfire. The actual name of this blaster is the S002 Game Shot Blaster. That's a pretty long name though. And holy moly, take a look at the similarity of this blaster with an actual Gelfire. The only main differences, well, there's actually a lot of difference, is the size of the blaster as well as some, tiny parts of the blaster are different from the original Nerf Pro Gelfire. First of all, as you can see, this is a Harper Fat Gel Blaster just like the Nerf Gelfire. But as you can see, the shape is the grenade bottle shape, just like any of those imported Gel Blaster. And of course, unlike the original Gel Blaster, this thing over here is not a suppressor or a fixed suppressor. This thing is actually a functioning barrel. And what is the most funny thing about this blaster is that they actually copied the same buttstock mechanism just like the Nerf. I mean, take a look at this. This is the most tiniest buttstock that I've ever seen in my life. You can't really shoulder this buttstock. But on paper, this blaster is actually advertised for children. And I was like, okay, it is acceptable. And that also explains why the grip of this blaster is so tiny. Well, probably you can blame it to my, huge hands. Well, as an adult, you can probably use this buttstock looking thing as some sort of a firing stabilizer of some sort. But I guess most of the time, even for children, you don't really need this buttstock over here. Maybe you can use it as some kind of a party trick. The trigger pull of this blaster is definitely one of those clicky, switchy triggers. The Picatinny roll situation of this blaster is pretty similar to the Nerf Gelfire. We got a roll of Picatinny rail at the bottom of the blaster. It is the kind of Picatinny rail that is not usable for Picatinny attachment. And I'm not sure what kind of attachment that you can actually put onto this. And of course, another roll of Picatinny rail on top of the blaster, which is of course being occupied by the hopper unit. The build quality of the blaster, as this blaster is actually advertised for children, it is actually made out of some children quality plastic. Of course, you can't really compare to, Nerf quality plastic, but overall it is still a very solid blaster. But put those quality aside, most importantly, this blaster over here is a very budget friendly blaster. Even though that this is a cheap blaster, it doesn't really have any of those plastic squeaking noise, which is of course out of my expectation. But unlike the original Gelfire, this thing does not have any select fire. The only firing mode for this blaster is a full fat auto. Wow, this thing shoots really hard. But seriously guys, who needs single fires in Gel Blaster War? But if you really need single fire, you can actually control it with your finger. some trigger discipline. Well, it kind of felt like burst fire though. Another major difference between the Gelfire and this blaster over here is of course the battery placement. Like if you've already seen reviews about a Nerf Gelfire, you probably know that the battery compartment is located under the grip over here, which is not really a battery compartment. It is more of a proprietary snap-on battery that's being charged by USB-C. But this over here, the battery compartment is located at the top of the blaster. It actually uses one of those really standard imported gel blaster battery that of course you can replace it easily. But other than that, I would say that this is a pretty simple gel blaster. You just pick it out of the box, put in the battery, get the gels ready, put in the gels, turn on the switch, and you are ready to go. Oh yeah! So yep, I guess enough of me talking. In this testing, I will be using one of those cheapest gel possible that actually came with the blaster to see what kind of results that we are getting. And of course, without further ado, let us go test the blaster out. Okay, we are back guys. So the performance of the blaster is actually surprisingly good. The blaster over here can actually fire from 143 FPS all the way to 157 FPS. I guess that's about the same performance or even slightly better than the original Nerf Gelfire, isn't it? And this blaster over here is way cheaper. And not to mention that firing this blaster in 10 meters, it is actually pretty accurate. Hitting a target is not too much of an issue. And most importantly, operating this blaster so far, I did not encounter any gems, which is of course a good thing, even though that this blaster is advertised for children on paper, but the performance of the blaster is kinda strong for children use. And of course, one more thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that this buttstock over here is a little wobbly for my taste. But hey, this is a children's toys and most of the time I don't think they will be using this buttstock anyway, so that itself is not too much of an issue. And will this blaster passes the wall test? And the answer is a giant no. This thing looks like a blaster made for like a super young child. And if you try to put this blaster with, you know, a bunch of intimidating blaster on the wall, this thing definitely looks pretty funny. But it certainly passes the recreational test, because this thing certainly is not a competitive blaster, but for a short friends and family game, this thing certainly get the job done. So yep, I guess that's all of the blaster. If you guys like this video, feel free to smash the like button. I will be posting videos every Saturday and maybe sometime on Wednesday, so do remember to smash the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. So yep, go and check it out, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Adios guys!